Panama. I hope you're all having a beautiful Tuesday morning. The sun is shining. Of course, the birds are tweeting. There's so many more birds. There are abundance out there. Guys, I'd like you to help me welcome our special guest. Yes, the queen of real estate, founder of Berliza, Arosemena, the one and only Berliza, Arosemena. How are you this morning, Berliza?
Thank you, Austin. Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing great under the circumstances. We're all here at home trying to do our best to keep our businesses going on.
Of course, yeah. Keep them going on. Get creative. Start shows called Living La Vida Lockdown.
Absolutely. Love the name of the show.
But, I figured, like I mentioned a few times, the whole reason for the show is obviously we're all in lockdown. We're all in the same boat. We're all watching what's happening all over the world and through social media. And I just felt like people needed a breath of fresh air, and bringing on amazing people such as yourself, and just, having a beautiful conversation and having some fun, spreading some love, some light, and some positive energy.
Absolutely. So, yeah, well, what I have been doing during lockdown here in Panama, mostly trying to keep in touch with my clients. As you know, I have a good clientele from abroad, and many of my clients were out of the country when the lockdown started and when the airports were closed. So I mainly try to keep in touch with them and keep them updated with the latest informations, the law decrees and the whole communication with the government changes by the minute. So I try to keep updated so I can forward that information to my clients, the ones that are outside Panama, and also my clients in Panama that don't speak Spanish. Because sometimes it's challenging for them to go through all the law decrees, the information that is given in the Panama news. So I try to make a little brief resumes of that and send to them by WhatsApp or email, mainly that, and working on my branding as well.
Very, very cool. I'm gonna say we got a chat here from Lourdes. She's saying good morning, Berliza. We want to say hello to you. Anyone else that wants a shout out, give us a comment. You're on the Panama Good Times page. That's where we're reading the comments from this morning. I'm gonna start with a brief announcement, and then we're gonna get into this awesome interview with Berliza. Guys, today's show is being powered by The Wallace, offering takeout and delivery. Now, if you have never been to The Wallace, this is one amazing Scottish pub with the utmost quality of food, drinks, and service. Definitely take a look at them. Go check out their beautiful location after the lockdown. But during the lockdown, you can get delivery or takeout Monday through Saturday from 12 noon to 8 p.m. If you mention the Good Times, you get a free order of boneless wings with any order over $10. That's super cool. Guys, you can find them on the app. You can call them for takeout at 385-5383. Again, 385-5383. Also on ASAP or Appetito for delivery. We want to thank them again. Also, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, The Wallace is giving away a free dinner. This free dinner is going to be given away this Friday on our 11 a.m. show. The dinner includes appetizer and entrees and dessert for two, including wine. Yes, this is what we like to call the light at the end of the tunnel. Welcome out of quarantine dinner. So hopefully you can win that. To win, it's very easy to enter. Go to their page on the Panama Good Times app, The Wallace. Find the Panama Good Times comment on their page in the review section and just leave a simple reaction. We're going to draw the winner this Friday. Guys, again, we're here with Berliza. We're talking about real estate. However, you have had a unique and awesome life, and it didn't start with real estate. You started in law, and you were studying at the University of Panama. How has that helped you in the real estate market?
Well, I am a real estate attorney to start, so I specialize in real estate. And of course, it makes it easier for me and my clients to go through the real estate maze, knowing the laws and the taxes. It's really been very helpful. I graduated as a lawyer, and when I was 22 years old, I decided instead of studying a master program, I wanted to do something different. So I traveled and studied to be a language interpreter. That's why I speak some English.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so take us into the language interpret. Where you studied up in Canada, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
And how long did you live in Canada, and what was your experience in Canada? How did you really practice your career?
I was there for 3 years. I went to the Windsor area to study English, and then I applied for a scholarship with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to study interpreting in court, and I got it. And then with that, I entered into volunteering with the YMCA New Canadian Centers to help immigrants, refugees from Colombia mainly, to translate, interpret, and advocate for them to get community startups, and they had a program called Ontario Works, which was to get them some help from the government. So I got a taste of helping people to relocate, and I found out that I really like that. I also work with the Multicultural Council of Windsor and Essex County as a freelance interpreter and translator, and I found out that I really like to help newcomers to settle in their new life, guide them. And when I came back to Panama, I had the opportunity to help a gentleman from Utah that my father introduced me to. He wanted to set up a corporation in Panama, and he needed translation and interpreting because he didn't speak any Spanish whatsoever. So I helped them. I helped him with that because I came back from Canada. No money. I think I had like $1,000 in my pockets, and I spent half of that money getting my translator license. And so I was helping him with that. And he rented an apartment in Paitilla. And I went with him to the company that was the intermediary, the realtors. And I did my translation and explained him the laws and all that. And the owner of that company liked that. He liked that. And then he called me later, and he told me he thought that I had talent for real estate. And that's how I got into this business.
Well, we'll step it back real quick. I want to know, because it's really unique. You don't really come across a lot of real estate agents that, for one, have a law background, have a real estate law degree, have so much knowledge with the laws here in Panama, but also with your translations license. Now, what was the most difficult? The law degree, the translation license, or the real estate degree?
I think when you love what you do, everything is easy. I wanted to study to be a lawyer. I found it to be easy. Then I wanted to improve my English, and I got this opportunity to become an interpreter. That was kind of difficult at the beginning to get the scholarship because the test was very hard and the course was intensive. That was, I will say, the most difficult part, especially living out of your country. I am a very tropical person. As you see, I don't even like AC. I have my fan here, and it was too cold for me in Canada. But well, away from your family, your favorite food. I think that will have been the hardest part. Being a realtor is really easy. I love to talk to people, to help people settle. I go above and beyond to help my clients to, I mean, even if they go to the grocery store and they need interpreting to buy a pound of ham, I'm there. I'm always there for my clients.
Very cool, very cool. And so tell me, obviously, I'm not from Canada, but I'm from a northern state or northwestern state of the United States, where it too is cold.
Mhm.
And I'm like you. When I turned 18, I was on my way to California. Then I ended up living in Hawaii, and then now obviously fell in love with Panama, got married to a beautiful woman, have a beautiful family. How long were you able to last? Because I can imagine, how long were you able to last after knowing the magic that Panama has, the weather? How long did you live in Canada?
As soon as I finished my program, I came back home. I like my weather. I mean, Canada is a great country. It's beautiful. I travel a lot as a student. I remember I got a passport with the train. and I went all the way up to Montreal. I think it was like 18 hours from Windsor to Montreal, but I stopped everywhere. I went to Niagara Falls. I stopped in Toronto. Canada is very beautiful, but for me, the cold weather, the winter is way too harsh. I can't picture myself for the rest of my life shoveling snow to be able to move my car, and the heater wasn't good for me either, and having all those clothes on top of me. I'm just too tropical. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, I love it, I love their people, but my weather is, there is no way I will change my weather to go live in the snow again.
And I'm sure a lot of your clients, especially your clients outside of Panama, they probably feel the same way. That's why
Yes,
they're
they do.
contacting you.
I have a lot of sober clients that's the reason why they come here. I mean, and they love their country, and most of them go back 6 months out of the year to their country, but they actually enjoy a lot our summer here.
And yeah, I can imagine. I do as well, as I live here now. Tell me this: where are you seeing before this pandemic and now still getting leads? Where are you seeing most people from North America or even Europe? Where are you getting the most amount of leads from?
I get a lot of Canadian clients. Many of my clients come from Vancouver, Canada, and lately I was getting clients from California as well, because our oceanfront properties are way more affordable than trying to buy oceanfront in California or Florida or any of the coasts of North America, So when they learn that, of course, they come here for better opportunities where to put your money, make an investment that can grow. You can still get a lot of equity here when you buy a property.
Yes, I can only imagine. I never bought a house in California, but I hear all about it. I have a friend in the real estate agent business up in the Bay Area, and he just tells me like the prices, and it's like, what? That's incredible. You could buy 10 of those same houses here in Panama.
There are a lot of opportunities here in Panama, and also the fact that with the hub of the Americas that we had with Copa before the pandemic, it was easier to get a flight frequency to Panama, easy for them to travel here and go back home as often as they want. We also have a dollarized economy, which makes it a little easier when you don't have to change currency. We have many pluses, I mean, there is not a secret that before the pandemic, our real estate market in Panama was kind of slow. But as long as you keep working and doing what you have to do, you will still get your leads and you're able to sell. Any property that is priced right will sell in any market.
Yes. And I actually, right before the COVID-19 situation, I remember, Berliza is a avid advertiser in both our newspaper, our app, and our magazine. And it was such an honor. One day she called me, she told me she got a sale, and it was in February or March from the newspaper.
In February, I sold a property to a couple from, actually, I think I had 2 sales in February. One to a couple from New Orleans. She's actually Panamanian, but she lives in New Orleans. And they picked the Panama Good Times because her husband doesn't speak Spanish. So he picked this literature, he liked it, and they found me there. And I also sold a lot in Chame to a couple that lives in Atlanta. They picked the Panama Good Times newspaper at the Coral Suites in El Cangrejo, close to my office, and they walked to my office, and voila, 2 sales.
Bada bing, bada boom. I love it. See, and that's like that. Honestly, for me, of course, we all have to make money in our careers, but like that is what gives me the high. Thank you for sharing that. That has been
the app. Not only with the newspaper, I also had success with the app. I have a very dear client. He may be watching me, Alan Crawford, and his wife Angelica. And Alan found me on the Panama Good Times app because I also advertised with the app. And he was a client of mine 15 or 16 years ago, and we lost track of each other. And he found me there, and he moved all his business back to my office. So thank you for that.
Oh, I love it. That's great news. Now, okay, of course we know that, you went into law, you got your law degree, you went to Canada, to study translation. You did a lot of great things there with the community, helping out refugees coming into Canada. You came back to Panama. You met this real estate agent, and you started working with him. Now, through that area of your life, what was it? What was that one thing that you said, "Man, I gotta be in real estate, and this is what I need to do"?
Well, no, first, when he talked to me about the real estate thing, I was like, yeah, but I'm a lawyer, like I felt, I went to law school, I'm a lawyer, I don't want to do this. And he kept telling me, you don't know, this is a good business, you're going to learn how to invest for yourself. Real estate is the best investment anyone can do in their life. And so I got curious, and he said to me, don't go into rentals. Let's just focus you on the sales, and my son will do the rentals as he normally does. That's how I met them. And so I got into the sales, and we didn't have inventory. And so back then, there were not web pages to look for the properties. So what he taught me to go into the newspaper every day and call the owners and tell them that we wanted to list their properties. All the listings were open. We didn't have the MLS like I use now. I'm a big fan of the MLS from Acovir. That's all I do. I don't do open listings, which means I am the listing agent for the property. You know that because when you have talked to me about your properties, I always try to make you sign the MLS agreement. So back then you had open listings. I remember it took me about 6 months to put together my database of inventory. And between here and the Coronado area, I had probably 800 properties listed, open listings from everybody. And I think after the 6 months of putting together all that and learning about the business was when I first sold a little apartment in El Cangrejo area for $52,000. And I was so happy with that. And then after that, I took off. We had the baby boomers coming to Panama because I got into real estate by the end of 2004. So 2005 was a great year. I got my real estate license, and I decided to go on my own because I wanted to do more, because he wanted me to focus on the sales, and I wanted to mix with my lawyer background. And I started to do a lot of immigration, also pensionado visas. And we still do the same, just that back then the volume of clients was huge. We had the baby boomers coming, as I said, up until 2008, 2009. We sold lots of houses and did a lot of immigration and corporations, thanks God. And I also learned how to invest for myself.
Very cool. Yeah, and that's important as well. Now, so I know a lot of other realtors. It's funny, after the lockdown, I started thinking about this show, and I was like, man, I know a lot of realtors. So, but I really think it's great. Like you have a one-stop shop per se. That if I'm coming from the United States or Canada or even Europe, South Africa, it doesn't matter, anywhere. I come to you. You're able to start the immigration process. You're able to obviously show me houses or condos in my peripheral, things that are of interest to me. But that's a really neat quality, and you don't find that a lot. So I commend you on that. I know that's a lot of work
Thank you.
to go through all of those steps to be the powerhouse that you are today.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question for you that has to do prior to COVID-19, the pandemic that we're currently in. What was your perception? What was your thoughts on, we had a slow economy, and I personally feel like we were coming out of that, and we were coming out with like a steam train. How did you feel about the real estate market in the early?
The real estate market started to slow down a little bit after 2015 with the new laws that were that we had to sign about the money laundering and all these foreign laws that were, I will say, imposed to Panama and other countries. So things started to slow down a little bit, and we were dealing with it. We had a big inventory in real estate, but as you say, for the past 4 or 5 months, everything started to take off. We were selling more. We were seeing more movement, more people coming to Panama. As I told you, a couple tourists that got the newspaper, the Panama Good Times, in hotels closed on deals with me here. So yeah, things were starting to move. And well, we got, as I told you before, sucker punched by COVID. And here we are now. We have to get back on our feet and keep going. Work with the tools we have now and try. That's what I have been doing for the past 6 weeks, trying to figure out what are my current tools to deal with COVID and what tools will I have post COVID to deal with my clients, the market, and everything.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. And tell me, what are the current challenges you see for yourself right now, and then also your agents and possibly other agents in the real estate market?
Yeah, well, right now, being in full lockdown, the biggest challenge for all agents is we cannot show property. We cannot go out because myself, I get out 3 times a week at 7:30 in the morning for 2 hours. I mean, how is that? That makes it impossible for you to show a property. That's something we cannot do. But something we can do is keep in touch with our clients. If you are the listing agent, keep in touch with your client. Reassure your client that you are going to be taking care of the listing, putting up some ads. It can be paid ads or it can be just social media. Just try to stay there, keep your head afloat, and be caring with your clients. Listen to their needs. If you can help your client to write up an agreement with their tenants or help them to follow up any paperwork with banks, that's what we can do right now.
Yes, it's got to be tough. I see it in my teams. You see it in the news. Obviously, persons that are working for you and possibly me and other people in our range, they're not the poor. They're more of the middle class and like ourselves, or at least myself. And it's tough right now. We're not really being focused on the food distribution. And talking to my team, real estate agents, they only make commissions. So what kind of advice do you give them to keep their head above water through these next, I don't know how long we're going to be in lockdown?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you have some savings, obviously you have to use some of your savings to, I will say, focus on food, health, and keep peace. Right now I wouldn't get worried about any other expenses other than being able to eat, stay healthy. That's my advice, because I have some friends that they get desperate because, of course, we're not making any commissions, and they say, "Hey, I'm using my savings. I'm worried about rental or my office." I wouldn't worry too much right now. I will try to come to an agreement. If I have a landlord or landlady, I will come to an agreement with that person. Both parties have to be realistic. I have had to help many of my clients that are landlords to understand, be empathic, or try to understand the other party, and then we're able to come to an agreement.
Yeah,
but basically that. And middle class, well, most of us, we have access to credit cards. Use your credit card wisely. Don't go online and go crazy buying stuff that you don't really need right now, because that's what you have handy to survive right now. Yes, use it wisely. That's it. And do what you can do. I mean, some of us help our clients with property management. We can still do some of that and get some income with that. I mean, try to get as much income as you can doing what you can.
Of course, I agree fully. And yeah, we're trying to be creative as well on this end. Well, I want to give a couple of shout outs. We got Zelna, Viviana, Janette, Wilmer, all saying good morning to you. That's awesome.
Good morning, everybody.
We appreciate you guys coming on. Now, I want to ask you a couple questions outside of real estate. You're a Panamanian. You've been here a long time. I see your Facebook. You're always moving around. What is your favorite place in Panama?
What do you mean, restaurant?
No, we'll start with destination. Your favorite location to visit. If you said,
my favorite location to visit is Coronado. I love Coronado. I have a house in Coronado. First time I went to Coronado, I was 10 years old. I mean, the Shame district is very unique. It has it all. It has ocean. It has mountain. That has to be one of my favorite places in the world, not just in Panama. There is so much there to do and see. Properties are affordable. There is a very good expat community. there, and I love to be there. The beach is quiet, and you have good neighbors. There are movie theaters. I have a little house there, and I go on weekends with my daughter. And you have movie theaters, you have supermarkets, banks, everything you need in that area. By the way, I have lots of listings there. If you want something there, just call me 6407-9862.
Thank you for that.
Was I
And we'll
supposed to
definitely
do that? Was I supposed to do that? No?
no, 109%, 109%. And we're gonna put all your info in the text after the live. I also want to mention Berliza on the Panama Good Times app is rated #1. And as you can see through this interview, there's a good reason why. Now, if any of you out there are watching right now and you've dealt with Berliza or you've done business with her, she really appreciates, I really appreciate, I love seeing the great reviews about different merchants on the app. Again, it's one of those little things that keeps me going. So
you notice that I went up to 50 reviews this last
what?
month. I went up to 50 reviews.
Wow. So
5-star reviews. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a big thank you to everybody. And if you've worked with Berliza and you haven't left her a review, please do so. You find her easily on the Panama Good Times app. You just go on there, scroll down the categories until you find real estate and rentals. Click on it. She's going to be first on the list. And also, don't just leave her a review, but also follow her page, because whenever she puts out any information on maybe like there's an awesome property that just took a massive reduction in price, if she puts that out on the app, everyone following her page is going to get a direct ping notification right to their phone. So it makes it so easy to keep up to date, especially if you're into investing. Berliza's a mover and shaker. She's always finding the good deals. So if you're into investing or you're just looking to buy a retirement property in Panama, it's a good idea to follow her on the app as well. I also wanted to add,
whether you want to buy or sell, I will list the property as well, remember?
Of course, yes. She does it or rent, right?
No, we buy, sell through MLS, everything.
Got it. Now, we were talking, you mentioned it, and it's funny, I wanted to ask you this because I'm dreaming of all these restaurants. Obviously, I make the restaurant magazine. I'm quite well versed with the restaurant market and scene here in Panama. What is the one restaurant, if you could have one meal right now, today, what restaurant would that be and what meal is that?
Can I mention 2 restaurants?
Yes, absolutely.
I like in Coronado El Chef, that is right at the entrance of Coronado. My friend Fernando cooks amazing Panamanian food there. So whenever you go to Coronado, stop by the Chef in Coronado. And in Panama City, I like molas from Hotel of Panama.
Like
molas,
right.
Yeah.
Very awesome. And what's your favorite dish there?
At the Las Molas? Salmon.
Yeah.
Salmon.
I'm a big salmon fan.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Well, I appreciate you coming on today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Again, remember, this show has been powered by The Wallace. The Wallace is offering takeout and delivery Monday through Saturday from 12 noon to 8 p.m. You get a free order of boneless wings when you mention Good Times. That's either if you're calling in or you're ordering through ASAP or Appetito. The number, if you want to do a pickup, is 385-5383. Don't forget to mention the flavor you want on your free boneless wings: buffalo, sweet whiskey, mango curry, or cranberry. And again, do not forget to go on their page on the app and find the Panama Good Times app review on the Wallace page and leave a reaction for your chance to win a free dinner as we come out of lockdown. They're really looking forward to getting people back in the door, and they're giving away a free dinner. Includes appetizer, entree, dessert, and wine for 2 at the Wallace. Guys, again, Berliza, I appreciate you coming on today. Tell me,
to say, sorry, to everybody that is listening to us right now live and that will listen to this later. I want to let you know I'm here to help. If you have any legal questions, any legal concerns about real estate in Panama, English or Spanish, you can call me, contact me. I will be more than happy to help you with that. No strings attached, free of charge, 1 hour free. So make sure you call me if you have any questions. Thank you, Austin.
I love it. And guys, all that information and more is on the app. Just look her up. She's #1 currently in the real estate and rental section. You can call her, you can WhatsApp her, you can email her, you can go to her website, her Facebook, her Instagram, all from the app. You can see different listings on her page. And again, read all the great 50 reviews she already has. Good job, Berliza.
There you go.
Man, I really appreciate you coming on. It's so great to see your face. I can't wait to see you after this. Again, we have Joanna asking us for the number of the Wallace. Guys, you can find that on the app, but I'm going to give you the number as well. 385-5383. That's for pickup at the Wallace. 385-5383. Or you can find them on ASAP or Apetito for delivery. Don't forget to mention in the comments the good times and the flavor that you want for your wings. Again, we appreciate you coming and joining us for another edition of Living La Vida Lockdown. We'll see you again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Until then, ciao.